Hi guys, today we are going to start learning about data types, and before starting let me introduce the number one and the most important thing is comments, which means without comments you cannot easily identify whatever you have written into in your codes. Okay, so I'm gonna introduce two types of comment. The first one is single line comment and the second one is multi-line comment. In order to use single line comment, you have to put two slashes before your code. Okay, so as you can see, two slashes will represent single line comments, and for the multi-line comments you have to put a slash then a star, and you have to close the slash before the star. Okay, after the star. Okay, so this is how you can perform a multi-line comment. And if I select this particular thing and if I comment this out, this will be considered as a multi-line comment, single line comment. And let's add a multi-line comment. Okay, so let's slash star and then just just go down and put a star and then slash. So that's how you can use multi-line comments. So that's it. Yeah, let me drag this here, and let's focus on our topic. Okay, that is data types and what are the data types are and what we are going to do. Okay, so first thing is number, the second one is string, third one is boolean, which is true or false values. Okay, like boolean will represent yes or no. Okay, and then there are other things like there are 7 primitive data types like undefined, null and symbols, and we are not going to look at this because these are like null is null, which means undefined is undefined, and we are having all of these things. Okay, so as you can see, you can also learn all of these things, and after that and what are the data types are basically one what are the dynamic. Okay, so dynamics are like it will automatically going to detect what kind of data you are providing. Suppose you write a string and you are storing that string, that must be considered as a string. Okay, or you write some number, then it must be considered as a number data type. Okay, and yeah, that's it. So let's look at all of these things and learn about it. Okay, so we are going to start learning about the number. Okay, so this is the let. Okay, and we already stored this particular data. Okay, so this is our house number 707, and you can also use where. I mean, this is a old method of using variables. I mean, most of the JavaScript developers do not use this particular thing in these days. And let me let me log this out. Okay, so number and a street number, like house number and a street number, and let me save it and run our server. Okay, I have to run it not from here. Let me close this server and run it again because there is a problem. Okay, so we are let me inspect it and we are going to look at what it will gonna represent. Okay, after running it, so go to the console, and inside our console we are going to see these, like both of the strings. Okay, click on console, and what are these? Okay, so we are getting all like both of the data. Okay, and what are these things? I need to remove it. Let me see what are the problems. Okay, and let's ignore it and focus on our coding. Okay, so for the second one we are going to use our string. I mean, we are going to look at our string data type. Okay, so let's jump right over here and remove this comment, and let's say console.log, and this is the string. Okay, this is the string data type, and let's say string name. Okay, and if you type like a string name, it will going to represent this particular string. Okay, so that's how you can store a string value. Like you have to type two quotes, like this one. Okay, so I don't know why this particular thing is like saying like there's a problem. I'll figure it out into the next tutorial. I'm just going to be going to continue this particular thing. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I think let me clear this. sorry guys. So guys, let's jump over to boolean. Okay, so boolean is a true or false. Okay, like it will return true or false value. Okay, so I'm going to type, let's say, some something, and let's say India country, like whatever the whatever the thing is. Okay, India is a country or something else, and I'm going to like do it console.log, and let's add this, and let me see. Yeah, it is true now. I mean, definitely, because we are giving it true. Okay, so we initialize it with the true value. Okay, so that's why it is it is showing us. And if we type this type of method, it will going to show us what kind of type it is having. So this is representing that it is a boolean, boolean method. Okay, or boolean data type, sorry. Okay, so that's how you can easily identify your things, just by typing type of. You can easily type all of these things. And this is the undefined. Okay, so let's say if I use this, it will going to show undefined, like you didn't define it, how can you use it? Okay, that's how it is. Like computer will going to tell you that if you do not define anything, what you will gonna do. Null means you can use 0, empty string, and whatever the things you want to use. Null means null. Why just type null. And I mean, this is, I don't like, if you want to if you don't want to define anything, you can use it. Like let's say console.log, and if we do it, like it will not going to give me anything. You can like there are 5 values, when you like 5 falsy values, truly and falsy values, like sorry, 5 falsy values, and where you can have null, this null as well. Okay, so yeah, for the symbol, we are not going to use, like this is you are not going to use this particular thing as well. And let's jump right over to the another one. And this one is also, we are not going to look at it right now, because this is not even required from my side. Like we will gonna continue if we need in future. Okay, so let's say for this usually, like I mean, these are the symbols, and what can I say? Okay, and I'm just commenting this, usually not needed. Okay, so let's jump to the dynamic typing. So whenever you will initialize any kind of data, JavaScript will automatically going to detect that data type. Okay, like if you are defining a string and storing inside any values, like like storing inside any anything, so basically it will automatically going to detect that particular data type, like whether it is a string, whether it is a number or float. So that's how it is. So let me console this, like console.log. Okay, and if we check this data, okay, so what will going to happen? So before doing anything, let me check others data. Okay, so this was the number. Okay, if we type if we check what kind of things is, it is showing us like this is the number. Okay, actually, and that's how you can use type of method. I can also use type of method for this particular thing, and it is also a number, and you understand this. Okay, and let me type this right here, not here, inside or a street name. Okay, so type of what exactly it, definitely I can see that it is a string, but how we can identify? By using type of method. Method means it's kind of a function. Okay, so if you are using Python and other programming language, it kind of a it will going to represent like they will call it like a function, and here in JavaScript people call it method. Okay, so that's it. Sometimes I also call it like function method, it doesn't really matter for me. And if you look at like what kind of things it is, it will automatically, like we didn't use anything, like we just defined, and it is showing us like this is a string, and this is the way of like dynamic way of it, like this is the way of dynamic data typing. Okay, whatever you can call it. So let's talk about the objects. What are the objects are and how you can create object. Object means a method. Okay, so let's say name is equal to like first, and if you are giving something like this. Okay, so this is a kind of a object. Okay, so like inside the name you are giving like first name, last name, and you are creating an object. Okay, so that's how you can also define an object, and this is also a data type, and once I will run it, it will going to represent us as an object. Okay, so as you can see, this is the object we are getting, and these are the values are stored inside this object, and it is also saying that this particular thing is a object. Okay, so let's initialize a array. What are the arrays are? Actually it will going to store your data in at index. Okay, so in order to use array, you just you will going to use braces, and that's it. Let's say let me say like sheets. Okay, and inside this sheets, inside this particular thing, and we are going to store some data. Okay, so let's say these are the data that we are storing. Let me remove this, and we have to store in it. Let's say CSS, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and Python. Okay, so let me log this out. Console.log and sheets. Okay, you can see that this is the array. Okay, and it will going to show us like okay, this is the array. Okay, and array is having like index values. Okay, so whenever you will call any value, you're gonna get that particular value. So like 0 1 2 3. Okay, so let's say if you call like 1, it will going to show CSS, and that's it. So that's all about the data types. Okay, and it is nothing, just simple thing. And yeah, we are going to keep continue our tutorial, and we are going to look at some of the most advanced thing in future. So keep continue watching, and bye bye, take care.